Então vamos lá. Okay, let's begin. Pavel, tell to everybody, what do you do in CD Projekt Red? What's your job there? And since when are you involved with the projects?
Yes, so I'm into the Projekt Red since almost 14 years now. I started during Witcher 2 Enhanced Edition. That was a Witcher 2 version that we were making it for Xbox 360. And an update for PC. That was like my first project with the company, but at the time I was already like 6 years in the industry doing like a couple other different games. And from there, I worked on Witcher 3 as a senior quest designer. I designed part of the main story and some side quests. Then afterwards, I became a lead of the quest team. I led the quest team throughout Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine. And then I led the quest team throughout Cyberpunk 2077. After shipping Cyberpunk 2077, I became a quest director and I got also open world and cinematic department. So my team grew to 60 people from 20. And this is when we shipped Phantom Liberty. And then from there, I became an associate game director, which now I am responsible for most of the teams, actually. And we are working on the new Cyberpunk game, codename Orion. You probably heard about it and saw it. Yes, the headquarters and the main studio that's building it is in Boston. So we have moved a lot of the developers, including me, to Boston to build that new game. And then we can talk about it more if you want to, because why not? So that's the situation. That's been last 14 years. So pretty much every game I was in a bit of a different position with the company and have been involved in a lot of things.
What's the difference between the lead quest designer to quest director?
Oh, yeah, it's a great question. I mean, so at that time, actually, there was not that much of a difference, I have to admit, just because like I didn't have a quest lead right away. But in time, I actually promoted one of our quest designers. His name is Błażej Augustynek. Błażej is currently a quest director on Witcher game, on a new Witcher game. So Błażej was one of my coordinators. I was training him, mentoring him. He's a great designer and he became a quest lead eventually. So at first, I was a quest director and we didn't have a lead, but then eventually I promoted him. So the way it works is like you normally divide those responsibilities. And as a director, you're more responsible for, I would say, global vision and things like, like how well together things come, as you put them into the game, versus the quest lead is more focused on a discipline and in the excellency in the discipline. So how well the quests are made, while as a quest director, I already had cinematics and open world teams. So I was more taking care of how everything well is integrated. And in Phantom Liberty, you can see the progress from Cyberpunk 2077, right? That everything really came together much more than how it was in 77. So it was also part of the things that I was working on.
Oh. Yeah, you must know. I know that you may not think that because The Witcher 3 was amazing, right? And for us, The Witcher 3 changed the way that quests should be done in an open world game, right?
Yeah.
Because open world games pass through like a really repetitive pattern, right? And everybody's getting really tired of stuff like that. And then we have GTA 5 that but Rockstar, everybody knows, is huge and different. But most open world games were like the same quest, the same fetch quests, and everybody was really tired of that. And then when I saw the first video from Witcher 3, and I guess it was in Brazil that I saw that the quest that
Brazil Game Show.
That Geralt goes after right? I don't know the name of the Griffin, yeah.
Griffin.
Yes.
That mission, right? He chasing the Griffin and it was really amazing. And then when we play the game, it is really unbelievable, right? For the pattern that we have in video games, how well made the quests are. Not only the main quest, right?
Yeah.
The side quests are amazing too. Gwent is unbelievable. I love Gwent. And did you feel that way too about how gaming was? And then we need to do something different here because we can do better than the most of people are doing.
That's a really interesting question. I mean, so first of all, it's really nice hearing that you think so. We always really, really try, and like we did try in Witcher 2, we did try in Witcher 3, we did try in Cyberpunk. All the time we experiment and try to look for something different. Even though when we feel that it's already good, you always try to innovate, you always try to bring something new to the table and just like, I guess, understand your craft better. So like going back to those early times of The Witcher 3, that was like, I remember March 2012, when we started like very first, design work, because I think Witcher 2 Enhanced Edition came out in May 2012, but from like around March 2012, we've been already doing some very early, work when it comes to design. And that was the challenge of that we had on the table, being how to marry really well the open world with the quest formula. Like we all knew the challenges, right? Like we knew how it looks like, exactly as you pointed out, Davey. So that's why we fought and we were trying to find a better way, how to make those quests. So there was a lot of R&D, I would say, done, research and development of like figuring out, how to really do it. And if you play Witcher 3, I would say very analytically, and you look at all the quests in the game, you will see that not everywhere we even, hit all of those high notes, There are quests that are not really that great, and we are very much aware of that. That was the same case for Cyberpunk, right? There are some quests that are really, really well made. I think in Phantom Liberty, it was even higher. But even in Cyberpunk, even though we had all of that experience from Witcher 3, there was still so many new things that we wanted to do, that there are always new traps, that you keep falling into as a developer, as a designer, I always tell it to my designers, like we do all the time when you work, like you kind of never do the same thing over and over. It's like always a new thing. It's either a new topic that you're encountering, or a new structure that you're working with, or a new characters or new topics. There's always something new that you have no idea about. And as a designer, and I always explain it to my younger designers when we are working together, you have to kind of like get comfortable with just not knowing. You have to get comfortable with just being uncomfortable. You just need to understand that it is basically like this, that for most of my work, I just won't know how to exactly turn out, and so on. And only through the iteration, through discovery, like looking into different ideas, trying to grasp those ideas from different perspectives, it really works, And that's why, like, in Witcher 3, some quests really like hit it well and some don't, right? And again, I can go so much into detail if you want to, but in Witcher 3, and I think we never really talked about it publicly, so I think we can finally do that. One of the quests that was like almost the earliest quest that we made is the quest with the ice giant, the one when we go on Skellige. And if you look into it analytically, and you use a method that we call deconstruction. So when you break things into pieces and try to figure out, how the theme and genre work together, you will see that this quest is a bit different than others. The way it's structured, that it like sends you almost on a side quest that is this whole like island. It just stylistically, as a designer, I immediately feel it's different, because that quest was like one of the first quests we have actually worked on for Witcher 3, trying to figure out what's the formula. What is the Witcher quest, really? And another quest, actually, is the one that you find in Skellige, and I don't know if you guys remember, because this one is actually really small. This is the one that I actually designed. It's the one about Leshen in a forest, where you have the village with a skjal, and they basically have this Leshen living in a forest, and the whole village with there's like almost like two factions in that village, like the younger people versus like older. I don't know if you remember, the Leshen keeps murdering people. It moves like a ball of crows through the forest. That quest also, stylistically, it is slightly different than other quests in The Witcher, because it was a discovery for us, right? Like at first we did this ice giant as a team, and we were like, okay, this is kind of it, but not really yet what we want to do. So then you end up making another one, right? And another one, and another one. And eventually you're like, okay, this is it. Like, that's the way how that quest should be made. And for me, that was the Bloody Baron, right? The Bloody Baron was the one that I designed and implemented, excluding the part with the witches on the swamp. That is the part that Joanna Radomska senior quest designer in my team did. So me and Asha, we together work on that. But I did majority of the design for his character and so on. And that was the quest where I felt as a designer for the first time being like, okay, I know what the Witcher quest is, finally. You know, how to do